Okay, so, Nexpo, the real Blair Witch incident. Chat, I don't know. I can't give you a backstory. I cannot give you a backstory to what this is, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Glasses off. We're getting serious. Here we go. Shout out Nexpo. Shout out Nexpo. He does drop some bangers. I'm quite cold. I'm not even gonna hold you, chat. I am quite cold. We're gonna go blankie. Blanket. I'm freezing.
Well, to be honest with you, this isn't really about...
If any of y'all know what the Blair Witch is, let me know. In March 2022, 5 friends in Michigan filmed themselves kidnapping a young woman. Wow. These are the 5 friends of the young woman? 5 days later, the friends are arrested and now face life imprisonment. Oh my god, is this the actual footage? But is it real or are you watching a game? What does that mean?
It's a late night.
Is this Nexpo?
Assuming.
He's kind of sweet.
Quiet.
Pause.
The Walton Files blares on your bedroom TV, filling the void of darkness around you.
Wait a minute. If y'all are watching the Man U game right now, the whole stadium is filled with smoke. Oh my god, wait. Take me home, United Road. Oh my god, that tifo goes hard. That tifo goes hard. I'm sorry for pausing. I'm sorry for pausing, but that tifo goes so hard.
It's peaceful.
Man, you better not sell me.
Comfortable, even. You scroll through Reddit, searching for something to pass the time.
Okay.
Before, out of nowhere,
Lost documentary, The Real Blair
a lone
Witch.
post by an Emerald Spring populates your feed. They're searching for something, some sort of lost documentary called The Real Blair Witch. There seems to be so little information about this documentary out there and absolutely nowhere to watch it. I recall it being on TV, and there's 1 or 2 references to it out there. It has nothing to do with the Blair Witch Project and is more of a true crime documentary. I'd love to see it again, and it's frustrated me for years now, not being able to track it down. It must be out there in some archive somewhere, but I'm guessing its lack of availability kind of makes it lost. At first glance, this seems relatively unassuming. Yet
I'm so honest, I'm still very confused as to what's happening. So, is the Blair Witch incident like, is it like they kidnapped the girl and now the girl like haunts the forest where she got kidnapped, or what?
another lost media mystery with hardly a lead to go on. Yet the name, The Real Blair Witch, shrouds it in this weird tinge of dread. I don't know what it is, but something about the way this is framed, the lack of information, something about this has sparked something. Within their post, Emerald Spring provides a link to its IMDb page, revealing that there's hardly anything to go off of. The page is barren. Just one review, a release year, and director. The only tangible bit of info here is the plot summary. A group of teens from Flint, Michigan film themselves kidnapping and terrorizing a new acquaintance before taking her out.
I'm sorry for pausing. I know I said I wouldn't pause, but I have to put it 1.5, guys. I'm falling asleep.
To the woods and dumping her in a shallow grave. They then taunt their terrified and blindfolded victim, asking if she had any last requests before they cut her throat. But was the kidnap real or just a game? What's revealed is an extraordinary and disturbing record of a night when something went terribly, terribly wrong. Well, now you've got my attention.
Just comes out of nowhere, chat. Also, is volume
it's
good?
A graphic, visceral description of such an inhumane crime. Curiosity in this case took off on Reddit. Comment after comment poured in, expressing interest in tracking this footage down. Most believed in its existence. others not so much. Regardless, though, the common theme here was intrigue. The Blair Witch Project, back when it came out, was horrifying, and the implications of someone recreating this in real life to torment a very real person sounds like it's straight out of a nightmare. What in the world did Emerald Spring watch back then? What truly is this? Over the following weeks, whispers about the doc's existence would trickle in. Mentions in online articles. A trailer on a production company called Raw TV's own Vimeo page. But what really sent this mystery into the stratosphere was nearly an entire year later when a Redditor named Transbian8787 would chime in with the revelation that no one saw coming.
What do you find?
The real Blair Witch, as it turned out, was very real. However, once Pandora's box was opened and the internet began to sink their collective teeth into it, it was realized that this story is much, much stranger than anyone had imagined. The real Blair Witch isn't just a film. It's a glance into one of the eeriest, most bizarre incidents that I have ever read about, ensnaring nearly everyone involved.
I'm still so confused. Yo, Nexpo, give me a better backstory next time, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the event of an emergency, please walk to the nearest exit. Thank you.
Okay. Hey.
When the Blair Witch
I
Project
was
hit
about to drop a
theaters in
freestyle.
1999, it didn't just scare audiences, it changed the horror genre. More than just a film, it became a psychological experiment that made people question what was real and what wasn't. The setup was simple. 3 young filmmakers set out to document an old urban legend, only to vanish without a trace. What remained was the footage they left behind. But unlike traditional horror films, this story had no scripted feel, no heart-stopping jump scares, just raw, unfiltered horror. The shaky camera work, improvised dialogue, and eerie silence between panicked breaths all made it feel as if it were set in reality. And that was exactly the point. The movie, as you'd expect, became an overnight sensation, shattering records and opening the door to a completely fresh, realistic, and raw form of terror. However, its impact stretched well beyond the film industry. Suddenly, horror fans, amateur filmmakers, and thrill seekers were
Okay, look, sorry, I paused the United game by accident. I'm gonna say this. When it comes to horror movies, I'm an avid enjoyer of horror movies, okay? But what I like is, like, when you make it seem real. Like, when horror movies nowadays, when they come out, they put too much, like, effects in it and everything. So, like, for example, like, this Blair Witch incident, like, the footage that we just saw, right, of, like, this right here, like, the little cheeky, like, it's recorded on, like, a shitty camcorder or whatever, makes it seem real. That's what makes a horror movie good. So if anyone who makes horror movies is watching this, like, this is how you actually gotta make a horror movie. You can't make a horror movie with too much effects nowadays, because that just seems too fake.
heading into abandoned locations and recording eerie footage, and the internet soon became a breeding ground for low-resolution videos claiming to document real paranormal encounters. Some were easily debunked, others less so. And that's where things began to take a strange turn. Because when an entire generation starts to believe that some of the most terrifying things can be caught on a simple...
Okay, see, nah, fuck no. Fuck no. I hate horror movies that have dolls and, like, babies in them. Hell no, I can't do that. I turn the TV off immediately.
It's only a matter of time before someone tries to prove it.
I feel like I'm about to get jump scared, low-key.
Alright guys, before we continue, I'd like to tell you about tonight's video sponsor.
No free promo! Nice try, buddy! No free promo! Twitch some scammers, man. They don't even give me a notification. Yo, Simba, welcome back. But I think you gotta turn it on yourself. But you good. I have my Twitch like it should be set to instant notifications, but welcome back. It is on. Oh shit, then yeah, Twitch don't fuck with me. You know, they don't like me. They want to get me banned. I see how it is. I might be shadow banned low-key already. Anyways, what we're doing right now is today is going to be a short stream because I have someone fixing my wall. But anyways, we have the real Blair Witch incident. Backstory is a group of teenagers kidnapped some girl and then they killed her in a forest, and then they've been arrested, and now we just don't know if it's real or if it's in a game or if it's fake, yada yada. But this is basically like the quick backstory. And then I have the Man United game, of course, on the side. But knowing Man United, since we're already up 3-0, I hope we just don't sell. But this is kind of the backstory that's going on. We're farming reacts, we're farming Man U game, and then here we are. So this is like the start of the video. You came at like the perfect time, in all honesty.
February 2002. It's a frigid night in the town of Flint, Michigan, and a 19-year-old named Danielle Taylor crosses paths with a 20-year-old Travis Peya, a community college student with big dreams of making horror films. Peya shared a house with a man named John Cockrell, another student and self-proclaimed horror fanatic. Their house, it was the spot, per se, the hangout for their tight-knit circle, which included a James Carwile, Christina Lum, and Derek Faxlinger. At first, everything seemed mundane within their friend group. Danielle.
I'm happy I checked, or I wouldn't even be on stream. Nah, you good, man. You good. I'll always stream at 3 p.m. EST. So every time like this time comes around, I'll stream, especially for my European viewers, because I know it's late if I stream at 5. I know it gets late, so you know I'm here for Europe. Shout out Europe, I'm here for you. You know.
Would visit the house a handful of times, and nothing seemed all that out of the ordinary. Just a few weeks later, on the night of March 6th,
no problem, I got you, babes, don't worry.
Would, out of nowhere, take a dark turn. By complete surprise, Danielle was restrained, blindfolded, handcuffed, and threatened with murder. And all of it
shit
on a single
shit
tape.
See, like, I don't know if that's the movie scene or if that's the actual, like, tape.
Say hello.
Hi.
Like, is this the actual kidnapping footage?
The video opens inside a dimly lit house, bathed in the eerie green glow that can only be provided by an old-school night vision camera. Danielle stands front and center, seeming a bit annoyed that she's being filmed. Behind the camera is Travis Peya, his voice steady as he asks her a strange question. What would you say if you knew this was your last day on Earth?
Oh my god.
Danielle smirks, brushing off the question with a simple, fuck you. There's a heavy undercurrent.
I don't like green cams. I know it's bad when it's green cam. I mean, green cam not necessarily always means bad, right? But since we're already on the horror topic, like, it does make sense. But it's mostly just for night vision, right? Like, the room's probably dark as shit. So, you know, they obviously gotta put on, like, the green cam. But I just don't know if this is, like, the movie footage or if this is, like, actual kidnapping footage. Like, I'm confused right now.
Current of something else, though. Something unspoken.
Oh, no.
A shadow moves behind her. One of the men steps forward, revealing something in his hands. A blindfold, maybe a gag. And the mood shifts. Travis prompts Danielle again, this time instructing to say ready, set,
Movie, it's probably higher quality.
Sensing something is
The
off,
movie was filmed
she
on the same
refuses.
thing.
Someone's behind her. Something is up here. She turns. Yet before she can react, multiple hands grab at her. She barely has time to respond before she's wrestled to the ground. She fights briefly, but it doesn't take long for her to realize she isn't getting away.
Oh my
Whatever
god.
this is, it's happening. The same cuts.
Yo, this is creepy, man. Like, this is creepy. Shout out
We
next,
find
bro.
ourselves in a car. The lighting is bad. Again, night vision. Danielle sits in the back seat, blindfolded, scared out of her mind. She's stiff, her face only showing fear. Christina Lum, the only other woman to appear in the video, is driving. She doesn't say much, just keeps her eyes on the road. At first, the guys verbally taunt her, but there's this edge to it.
This is fucked
And
up.
then we see it. One of them, Jonathan Cockrell, has a knife, and it's pressed right up against her.
Oh my
They start
god.
asking her questions. Did you have a good life? Say your last words to your family. If you could go back in time and change anything, would you?
Another question of the day. Do you think people are born good or bad? Like, let's say like a terrible person. Let's just talk about Adolf, for example. Do you think Adolf was born bad or was it developed? Right? Like, can people be born good or evil? If that makes sense. Let me know. YouTube comments, let me know as well.
Danielle hesitates. She tells her mom she loves her. She says she's sorry for everything. She tells those in the car with her that she has nothing to say to them. Nothing she says won't be right anyway.
Developed,
No one
probably.
reassures her. No
I
one
think
tells
it's
her
also developed.
okay.
I wrote an essay on
And
it
the
one
video
time.
cuts again.
But I think it's a choice. Look, I think it's a choice. Let's put it this way. I think it's developed, but I think it's a choice. Like, there's lots of people that roam the earth who could be developing into someone evil, but they still have a choice to be evil or good, if that makes sense.
Deep in the heart of the forest, the camera follows as James carries Danielle over his shoulder. The group moves with a sense of purpose, heading straight for a spot they've already prepared. A shallow grave, barely 2 or 3 feet deep. They set her down before explaining what's coming next. They're going to cut her before burying her alive and leaving her to die.
Oh my god.
Travis stands over the pit, knife in hand. The blindfold that had been covering Danielle's eyes is pulled down around her neck.
Yo, I wish these frat boys tried me. I wish they fucking tried me. Oh my god.
Following
She's pretty calm.
Travis kneels down.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think she just... Like, once again, this could be the movie scene, right? But I think it's more like... If you're in this type of situation, I think she knows she's gonna die, right? Like, I think she knows she's gonna die, so it's more like... I don't know how to put it. It's more like she can't necessarily react, you know? She already knows she's gone, so she's accepted it. Let's just put it this way. She's accepted that she's going this day, right? So she's just not putting up a fight anymore. Or she's just in shock.
To her. And then...
Oh my god.
Nothing. He never actually cuts her. He mimes the act of slashing Danielle's throat before she goes completely limp and pretends to be dead.
Congratulations, you're dead. Welcome to the afterlife.
Just like that, the entire mood shifts. The group starts laughing, giving each other pats on the back over what they had just done. One by one, they turn to the camera,
So it was a prank? Oh, this is a shit prank. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't like the thought of dying. Me too. I get panic attacks thinking about it, but it's gonna happen one day, so you just can't think about it. You gotta live your life to the fullest and make sure you accomplish everything you want, because you only get one life at the end of the day. And follow God, because then it makes the thought of dying easier, right? Just make sure you believe in something, right? And accomplish your goals.
Producing themselves,
This is a shit prank, though.
In this so-called film. They even take bows, grinning the entire time. Danielle Taylor, as it turned out, wouldn't die that night.
Oh my god. This could have been like a school project. In one of my classes, I had to create... In one of my school projects, I had to create a horror movie. This would have been such a good idea. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's actually such a good idea for... Oh my god. Simba, if you ever have to create a horror movie for a project, you can do something like this.
Contrary to the knife being held to her throat, contrary to her being tied up against her will, contrary to her being thrown haphazardly into a massive hole in the ground, this was nothing but a stunt. A prank for a movie. Funny, right?
I believe I'm becoming rich, as you should. As you should.
Recording, the group unties her, harping on just how realistic, how entertaining her reaction was. Surely, this will seem visceral enough to make it to film. This was their big break, their escape from Flint, Michigan, after all.
So this
For
is the
Danielle,
movie.
though, she was far from fine. Just a few minutes before, she thought she was dying. She had nothing to laugh about here, because the entire joke was solely on her.
I can't remember his name.
Oh my god. Wait, so she wasn't in on it. She was not in on it. Yo, that's kind of fucked up. If I was this girl, I would be fuming. I would be fuming. This is hella fucked up. But I mean, that's what makes
So
it a
far,
good movie.
It's been easy to follow Danielle's state of mind throughout this. A woman trapped by those she trusted, a victim of an inhumane prank. However, that's where our central problem begins. Because was this all nothing but a sick joke? That is the question that soon becomes the heart of this entire incident. And the answer depends on who you believe.
Okay, so my thoughts on it so far, right, with this being like a sick joke, right, I think it makes sense. It makes sense that, because if she didn't die, it makes sense that it was a sick joke. It makes sense that it was a sick joke. Like, they untied her, they did everything, and then they put it towards a movie, right? It makes sense. It's a very sick joke, like a very sick joke, right? But I mean, I could see exactly why they did it, because all her reactions are like real, if that makes sense. Like, she's not acting in this, right? Like, she's not acting. She actually thought she was gonna be gone this day. I hate this music. Oh my god, clown music. Oh my fuck.
It looks like an ordinary day in the USA, but in the city of Flint, Michigan, all is excitement, even a small fry are buzzing. and the older boys and girls are let out of school. Oh, this is a day. The whole town's a bustle. Yes, sirree, there's going to be a parade, too. And what's a parade without festive bunting and gala decorations?
The city of Flint, Michigan is undoubtedly one of desolation. It's a place once bustling, lively, full of opportunity. Yet today, it stands as nothing but a shell of what it once was. When the automotive industry backed away,
That's
it left
Flint?
a void of broken dreams.
Tom and Jerry
families with
music? Yeah,
shattered
no, I can't deal
aspirations.
with it.
It's depressing that something like this can actually happen to those who had no hand in the matter at all. Like we established, the Blair Witch Project shattered the world, sending audiences into a frenzy and inspiring loads of those with nothing but a camera to create something horrifying of their very own. The entire group maintains that they all had hopes, dreams to get out of Flint and to make something of themselves. And while they could have chosen a myriad of ways to do that, the film industry, for once in its near century-long history, felt like something attainable, a vehicle to a completely new life.
3 days later. What happened 3 days later? Oh no.
In the following days, Danielle Taylor, reeling from the incident on March 6th, would revisit the Peya home. It was done on invitation, a night for all of them to rewatch their masterpiece. Yet for Danielle, she had other plans.
Wait, what did Danielle do?
We put a gag in your mouth and throw you in the trunk.
I don't like where
If
this
you're
is going.
laughing,
Me too,
stop
man.
laughing. What's coming to you?
After the tape ran its course, she secretly swiped it, replaced it with another, and after the events of that night had wound down, she set out to report the entire group to law enforcement. Within a week,
Yo,
the lives
Agent
of Jonathan
66,
Cockrell,
what's
Travis
up?
Peya, Christina
W
Long,
follow,
James
W
Caldwell,
follow.
and Derek Faxlinger, everyone involved in perpetrating the stunt.
Appreciate
would
you,
change.
gang.
They were all arrested, finding themselves awaiting trial on kidnapping and assault charges, and facing anywhere from 7 years to life in prison under Michigan law. Contrary to their claims of
Wait. I'm very confused. Agent, you kind of got me fucked up right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so what happened? She swaps the tape, okay, of the sick joke, the prank, and what? She sues them, and now they're awaiting court. I'm confused. I'm very confused right now. So she swaps the tape, but if it's all for a movie, can she not, like, it doesn't make sense, right? It's just a sick prank. I don't know why they would get, like, sued. Like, maybe assault. I could see assault charges, but I'm just confused how law enforcement can actually do something, if that makes sense.
The events of that night had wound down. She set out to report the entire group to law enforcement. Within a week,
We're watching the real Blair Witch incident, right? So anyways, let's put it this way. Real quick backstory, Agent. 4 teenagers kidnap a friend. They pretend she's gonna die, right? They bury her, they gag her, like they do all this fucked up shit. They pretend she's gonna die. She ends up not dying, like it's all a sick prank, right? And then now we're here. She like takes the tape and yada yada.
the lives of Jonathan Cockrell, Travis Peya, Christina Lum, James Carwile, and Derek Faxlinger, everyone involved in perpetrating the
So I think all of these people, it's either these 4 men were involved, and then she was the one who got kidnapped and like assaulted and shit.
stunt would change. They were all arrested, finding themselves awaiting trial.
Wanted to say dub follower, but it's hard typing on the iPad. Nah, I feel you, Simba. But nah, W agent, I appreciate you.
On
Road to
kidnapping and
75
assault
followers.
charges, and facing anywhere from 7 years to life in prison.
What?
In Michigan.
7 years to life for a sick prank? No way. They're actually taking the piss.
Trial on kidnapping and assault charges, and facing anywhere from 7 years to life in prison under Michigan law.
That's kind of fucked
Contrary
up.
to their claims of simply aspiring to create a horror movie, Danielle Taylor maintained that she had no idea about any of this. To her, this was all very real, and given our glance at the footage, it's easy to empathize with her.
Okay, guys, if this happened to you, are you suing? Are you suing or what? What you doing if this happened to you?
Interestingly though, support for her wouldn't be unanimous, as once testimonies came out and the footage
Yes,
was
I
given
want
a
their
second
money.
look,
Makes sense.
cracks in the facade began to show.
Also, Simba,
Daniel,
fuck
I-
Agent. He unfollowed. Agent, if you see this, I hate you, buddy. Nice try. He tried to get us there. L Agent.
Numerous points throughout the footage does things that make no sense. She scratches her nose, She inquires on if the rope is tight enough, and just minutes after she supposedly thought she was dying, she can be seen laughing alongside the group.
Acting like I can't see this shit.
And
Nice
I'm
try,
breathing and
agent.
my arms are-
You move anymore. I swear to God, I'm using a plate to do this. Right?
A bizarre reaction, especially considering the circumstances.
Okay.
Even still, a Lapeer County prosecutor named Brian Concha spoke to the media on Danielle's behalf, maintaining his belief that she did not know that any of it was staged until the end. The prank was intended by the participants, but the last party, the victim, was not in on it. Conversely, attorneys representing the accused said the tape shows that Danielle, in fact, did know that it was a movie, citing the fact that she never begged the group not to kill her, appeared to smile after the gig was up, and had not.
Okay, wait, so she knew the whole time? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. So she knew it was a prank, yet she's suing, and now what? It's not true? Like it's false?
Once told them to stop. She pretends to play dead for about a minute. One said, if she truly thought she was going to be buried alive, she would have struggled.
I thought I was slow. Yo,
As
me
we can
too.
see, all we have here is a he said she said situation.
Okay.
No one here ever knew the answer on if she were acting in this stunt. Not the prosecutors, not their lawyers,
Damn.
no one but Danielle Taylor.
Okay, this is fucked now. This is getting kind of fucked. This is getting kind of crazy.
In the midst of an intense legal battle, Christina Lum had turned on her group of friends,
Damn.
accepting a plea bargain on a reduced charge of attempted felonious assault, and received a suspended 6-month sentence pending the completion of probation.
Okay.
Derek Faxlinger was ordered to pay a $200 fine. Jimmy Carwile received a 4-month sentence, while Peya and Cockrell got 8 months. All suspended sentences following the completion of probation. All of them inevitably served their time and got out. However, in the end, another affliction entirely would befall them.
Oh no, here we go. Now it's the juicy part. Oh no. Also, I don't think it was a pen on Man United. I think he's just flopping in the box. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'd be surprised if ref gives it as a pen. What is
Travis
this?
Peya, the group's ringleader,
Okay.
passed away on Tuesday, April 18th, 2006.
Damn!
Derek Faxlinger passed away on Monday, February 12th, 2007.
Oh my god.
And Jonathan Cockrell lost his life on Wednesday,
Oh my
February
God.
19th of 2014. All of them were less than 35 years old.
Oh my god. Football plus
like
horror
a
video is
curse.
crazy. I mean, we had
Before
football
we-
and ass before. It was football and ass segment beforehand, so now we're just football horror movie segment.
February 19th of 2014.
Okay, so they're
Were less
cursed.
than 35
They're cursed.
years old. Almost like a curse. 3 of the
Oh my
4 men
God.
involved in the real Blair Witch incident had died before their lives could even get off the ground, and any information surrounding them, barren. All that seemed to exist was hearsay, notably on the website My Death Space, in which Travis Peya's cause of death was speculated to have been caused
But
by
football and ass is just the basic necessities in life for a man. Yeah, no, you right. I wasn't complaining, I wasn't complaining. That was a W segment. I'm not complaining.
use. Furthermore, mentions of Derek Faxlinger come up in reference to an MLive article, which states that he passed away from an epileptic seizure and had
Okay.
his organs donated to those in need.
Damn!
Even still, though, nothing definitive on whether this came from the fallout of the real Blair Witch ever came up. Onlookers then were just as conflicted, just as confused as all of us today.
Yo, this is
DistroKid is gonna cost you.
Of course, man. Of course. Nah, I can't deal with this fuckface again. I'm losing it.
For a while, it seemed like this was the end to the real Blair Witch saga.
Okay.
A lost media legend turned criminal battle that resulted in the loss of 3 lives. However, an entire year after the original Reddit post was made, a user named Beef Brothel emerged out of seemingly nowhere, shedding light on the deaths of their supposed
Who the fuck is
friends.
Beef Brothel? They just
Derek,
introduced
John,
people.
and Trav have all passed away. Derek had a seizure in the shower and sadly passed from that. His organs were donated and saved quite a few people.
Yo, yesterday, oh my god, yesterday I had a dream about the Shopify girl? Like the big back Shopify girl? Oh my god, I think I had to wake up. Like, I woke up in like cold sweats. Like, I was in the ad with her. It was bad, man. It was actually bad. I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? And then I met Danny Duncan in my dream too. I was like, what's happening?
He was an extremely kind person and gave great hugs.
Okay.
Travis had a terrible tooth infection, and I'm not sure if that was the cause, but it was a contributing factor in his death.
I had a dream that I had a
John was
girlfriend.
depressed.
Unlucky, buddy.
I can't
Unlucky.
deny that.
Was it
His mother
Tyler?
died, and they were quite close, so his partying ramped up during the period after her passing. Another friend was with him that night. They were celebrating his new apartment, and it was simply an accidental overdose. He was one of my best friends, and I'm still angry at him for being so careless, especially because things were moving in
just
such
a
a
random?
positive direction for him.
Makes sense.
None of their deaths were because of the pressure of the case. Jim and I still talk occasionally, but he moved to another state and lives a private life. He's a good man, and I think he was affected the most by this situation. The girl apologized to them after the fact and insisted that she never wanted any of this to happen. She was known to our graduating class as a notorious exaggerator before any of this ever happened, so there's that. Plus, she was young and was being told by a lot of authority figures that she had to go along with this prosecution. She claimed after the fact that she believed taking the video from the house would prove that it was just a joke and everyone would just get off the hook. She didn't realize that John was pausing the recording between shots. Part of me thinks she initially enjoyed the initial attention, but it spiraled way out of control. If I didn't know, these guys participated in these types of pranks on all of our friends weekly, made a dozen backyard horror films with them, spent all of my free time with them for years. I would think they were psychos too. That's just not the case. Jackass and Blair Witch were huge at this time, so it was kind of a mashup of the two genres to them. We all knew that if you went to Rancho, you could get pranked. It's just how things were. They did almost the exact thing to another friend a week or two before, and she was the one who suggested that they film it next time. Unfortunate. This was a devastating time for
What's
our group of
crazy?
friends,
What's
their
crazy,
families,
Simba?
and their loved ones. Visiting them in jail was bonkers. I'll never forget how sad they all looked and how many people came to see them. Everyone knew that they did not do this maliciously, except the prosecutor, and he was a real asshole. Long story short, it was a prank, and everyone except the law knew that.
Damn. I mean, realistically, look, if realistically, of course, right? The law enforcement should know it's a prank at the end of it, right? If they have multiple of these backyard horror films and no one got hurt, it's obviously a prank, right? But they spent time in jail, which is kind of crazy. I had a dream once where a girl just disappeared in the park near my house. Didn't think much of it, and what, does it turn out to be true? I think you need to go on that mission to find her then. Not gonna lie.
Say hello.
Hi.
Okay, I have a question for you. You just said hi. But if you had one thing to say, if this was your last day on Earth, what would it be?
Oh wait, this is the full video clip. Okay.
The real Blair Witch incident is a bizarre, unsettling chapter in the history of lost media. A story that serves as both a reflection of our deepest fears and a reminder of the human capacity for cruelty. How far would you go for a chance to escape a place in which you have no future? Was Danielle in on things, or was she truly terrified for her life that night? I've always said that lost media, by nature, carries this enduring sense of mystery, and in my opinion, this one is no different. It is, and always...
Like 1 week went by and I had the dream again. But like a follow-up, like I found her body and the monster who killed her. But that's crazy, bro. Like, that was a part 2 1 week later. That's actually fucked. You had a part 2 to a dream. Like, you actually had a part 2 to a dream.
Always will be eerie, a look into the lives of intensely conflicted individuals. But if there's one thing to take away from all of this...
Can they
it's
drop
that
the
we'll
actual
likely
video?
Never, ever get our hands on the full original tape in its entirety. The story of Danielle Taylor will forever live on through the lens of news
I never go to
reports
that
and
park again. I
documentaries.
think you should for
And
science.
in its wake, an unsolvable question. Did she truly know? Perhaps we never will. A
she
lost
truly
media
know?
mystery that may never find a resolution.
I'm sweating, bro. When I woke up, I could imagine, man. I could imagine. My bed was a pool. Yo, I know the ones. You probably pissed yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm playing. Damn, I mean, bless you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You're too kind, Simba. You're too kind. I mean, real Blair Witch incident, shout out. But I mean, I think the whole thing becomes like, is it a prank or not a prank? But I mean, Shorty survived at the end of the day, and all the guys who ended up doing it died. So I mean, that's kind of fucked up. But I mean, if they have multiple of these backyard horror films, they should know it was a prank. Like, they should know it was a prank. Also, Man United game is going hella slow. Nothing's really happening. I'm looking at it over here. Like, look. It's 0-0, nothing. Let's pre the stats real quick. 2 shots, 0 on target. It's basically 50-50 possession. It's very back and forth, but no one's breaking through yet.